Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to another podcast. This is our first podcast of the 23-24 season with a bunch of Sunderland fans and an Ipswich fan on the channel as well. So we've got Paul Wilson.
Hello.
We have Amph the Madam.
All right, lads and lasses.
Aye. And we've also got on the right-hand side, we have Colin from Talking Town Podcast from Ipswich.
Hi, everybody. Thank you very much, Bradley, for having me on. Thank you. Very
No
kind of you.
problem. You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome anytime. So, tonight we've got a bit of an agenda to talk about. We've got about 6 items on the agenda to talk about, including the previews for both, for obviously the Ipswich game, and obviously we'll be talking about the Crew EFL Carabao Cup game as well. So we'll be talking about that game as well, because that game's too short between Sunday and Tuesday, obviously doing a stream. So we'll be talking about, obviously, Mowbray, as apparently he's hopeful that Ross Stewart is set to sign a new contract, apparently, I've been hearing. And if that's true, that's a brilliant bonus for the club, because apparently what I've been hearing from Paul Wilson, apparently Speakman's not giving, obviously, Mowbray what he wants. That's the case what I'm hearing. Is that true, Paul? You can actually add, if obviously you want to add. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's you'd be shocked at this, and actually, it is actually what I actually heard yesterday. Tony, I actually feel sorry for Mowbray. Mowbray apparently now is actually had to ban on Speakman's door and actually asked for signings to come through the door.
Bloody hell. Exactly.
So what you're saying there, mate, is Tony Mowbray wants to become a manager, and Speakman is saying, we've hired you as a head coach. You don't get to make the decisions. If that's what happens, could you see another situation like Alex Neil going to another club within Mowbray? Maybe, maybe not. But I think Mowbray knew what he was getting into with his job. If he doesn't get what he wants, he has to play with what he has to use what he's been given. So,
but the thing is, like I told you, Brad, I found out, Lawrence, that Mowbray actually had to ask Speakman for Bradley Dack to actually come to the club.
Well, doesn't that make sense? Because obviously they've not had to pay a big transfer fee, but they've got to pay somebody their wages, and he's left a championship outfit on to a no club. He's completely a free agent at that point. Why isn't another club instantly try to get him on that free? It's because he's a fringe player. He was a fringe player at Blackburn last season. He played about the same amount of games that Ross Stewart played. Will he be the same level of impact with us? I get that. Like, it's not that big. We've got to spend $2 million to get him, but you still got to pay this guy the wages. So if he can afford the wages and the wages are all right, then permission for somebody who you know how to play it. Oh, sorry, Sheffield Wednesday's just equalised. If you're looking at wages and you're not a manager, you're a head coach, you don't have the authority to bring players in. You have to ask permission for everybody that you want. And if they say no, they say no. So I feel sorry for Mowbray in that he has to ask for it, but he knew that in his job description when he joined Sunderland. So, I mean, you don't bite the hand that feeds you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you think, Paul? Do you actually think Ross Stewart's going to sign this new contract? What are you thinking? What's your opinion on it?
Well, for what Mowbray was saying yesterday, though, if the club gave Ross Stewart what he wants, he would sign it. Mm-hmm. But Mowbray, according to Mowbray, the club's not going to give Ross Stewart what he actually wants. So will he sign that deal, or will he just leave for free?
Yeah, well, obviously he's still got another. I think it's 12 months on his contract. He's still got till the end of the next.
That was automatic renewed, I think.
Yeah, that was automatically triggered, I think. Amph, what do you think about this Ross Stewart saga? Do you think he'll sign a new contract?
I'm a bit bored of it, to be honest.
I am as well, to be
We've,
fair.
we've been talking about Ross Stewart signing his extension since the January transfer window. We're 8 months on now. If it's about purely commercials, if we can't meet in the middle, it might be the right time to let Stewart go. If Stewart's agent is being greedy, or we're just being tight, we don't know. They can't come to an agreement. If it doesn't come to an agreement, come the end of it, we have to deal with what we've dealt with. I'd much rather him be playing for us, don't get me wrong, but he has to come back at the same level as he was to justify the wages that he's supposedly rumoured to be demanding. So is he worth it? Yeah, absolutely. But if he falls outside of our budget and we can't sign 3 players who are less injury prone because he needs that big wage, then I'm sorry, I'd rather have 3 players who are fighting for their position and got decent quality than a moneybag straw McQueen. But yeah, like I really like him. He's a good player. He does exactly what you want. He's in the box where you need him all the time. He roughs up defenders left, right, and centre. He's a threat to any defence that comes up against in this league. So I really rate him when he's fit and ready to play. The fact that he's not fit hinders his negotiation tactics at the minute. And
Yeah,
there's echoes of Bradley Dack's last year situation. He could just be end up without a club at the end of the season, and he's going to somebody for big wages that nobody really wants for an injured player. So yeah, it's an interesting situation. I just want it to be done and dusted with. That's my opinion.
You're not the only one.
not all money, but to be fair. Couple of comments on the live chat I'm going to read out now from obviously Acacia Cameron Jude. Just says, alright lads, yeah, well, not too bad, thanks Acacia. How's yourself? Alright, Amph, quack. She says. Lee Gregory says obviously scored the equalising goal for Sheffield Wednesday against Southampton. Keisha Cameron Jude says, yeah, I'm bored of the contract situation with Ross Stewart. Tory Mowbray just needs to decide now, but it's Ross Stewart's agent, that's what it is. And he's wasting our time asking for the price Ross Stewart wants. Yeah, exactly. Like Paul told me, it's a stupid idiot Chris Speakman who won't give Stewart the money he wants and his wages. Well, yeah, exactly. What I think, obviously, of it, Ross Stewart's situation at the moment, to be honest, I'm getting a bit bored of it now, to be honest. I'm sick of hearing it. It's been going on for about at least 8-9 months now, and we haven't even come to a conclusion at the minute, and obviously this conclusion could take another year or so. I don't know, it could even take till the end of next season.
Boy, can I just come in there and ask a question?
Yes,
how is he coming on with his injury now, Ross Stewart? I know he had quite a bad injury, didn't he?
He's back at training, and he's not fully match fit yet. They're suspecting he should be back to full fitness towards the end of September. So he's at least 6 weeks off.
Oh, right, okay.
Still, so 10 games.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, 10 games away, possibly. But yeah, I'm getting so bored of this situation now between Ross Stewart and obviously his agent and obviously everything else, what's going on with it. If you want to sign Ross Stewart, just sign obviously with the wages, Christian Speakman and all this. Just give him the bloody money and ask what he wants, for God's sake, instead of Tory Mowbray banging on your door asking for strikers, man. It's not on. Right. Acacia says, I'm good, thank you, lads. So
I've got a question for Colin.
Yes,
if that's all right.
Go ahead.
Does it, because obviously I'm not really a fear with Ipswich's players, because obviously they've just been promoted. Is there any players like that that you're having that kind of very similar story happening? You want to keep them on, but they're in this weird debate with the club, or you just throwing the money at them because of the promotion? what's the situation there?
Well, to be honest with you, Ant, we haven't got for the first time in a long time. We haven't really got any. Well, not that I know of. We've got no real problems with any players whatsoever. Really, at the moment, it seems like the best bunch of lads we've had for a long while. And they're really close knit. They're really good mates, good buddies. That comes across in spades, really. And we ain't got really any bad eggs, people who want away or. I mean, I think, before long there'll be one or two, because they're talking about one or two more coming in. It's got a bit of money and stuff. We're not blowing around trumpets, but we've got a bit of money, and there's supposed to be one or two or three more coming in. So there's going to have to be probably one or two going out. But as regards Ant and Brad and Paul, I mean, we've got a lot of harmony, I think, in the squad, and that that was brilliant for us last year, and I'm just hoping. I mean, I can't remember what it was, 16, 17 games undefeated in the last season. I'm just hoping, it just goes into this season. We just signed Jack Taylor from Peterborough. I saw him Wednesday. He seems a good lad, and we signed some young lad, some young goalkeeper from Slicker from Man City. He will be. He'll be on the bench on Sunday because obviously Walton's out for months. He's done this thing with his foot. But had a lag, he'll be all right. But to answer your question, and we just don't seem to have any of that, which is fantastic. We're going back a few years. We had always seem to have this going on or that going on, but we seem very hard, very much in harmony at the minute, and hopefully it all continues.
Yeah. Good luck to you, mate. There's a lot of echoes with when we came up via the playoffs, with how, because our squad then, there was obviously a couple of players that left instantly, but beyond that, everybody was looking at like retaining themselves with the club long term, and there was that core unit of the club that gelled. So I think as long as you retain that, the couple of fringe players, like for us, it was Jacku. Like no Sunderland fan enjoyed it, but it could have been an absolute barrel of laughs at the training ground. It just seems like the people who start week in, week out get on with each other really well, and if you've got that, you're absolutely laughing through the league. It's just
we was fortunate last season, very, very fortunate, because I mean it was obvious as the day is long. I mean, obviously we had a bit of money, and we were literally although obviously we were signing to get up, but we were also signing in the back of our minds about this season and hitting the ground running in the championships. Obviously, like signing Walton, signing Lee Evans, signing Connor Chaplin, signing Broadhead, Morsey. I mean, all got championship experience in playing League One. I mean, I hold my hands up to Plymouth. I mean, they've done really, really well. Holding us off for that amount of time was unreal, really. And considering on the run we was on, I mean, they do deserve to wear a gold. They've got gold numbers on their shirts this year. I saw one there in Cornwall. And I said, what are you doing with them gold numbers on? He said, champions, mate. I said, fair play to you, But no, they done well to hold us off. But I mean, like I say, we had a lot of championship experience in a first division team, and hopefully it'll hold us in good stead this year.
Yeah. Moving swiftly on, Acacia Cameron Jude just here's a question for Colin. What kind of reception do you think Nathan Broadhead will get from us Sunderland fans, as we used to call him, Broadband?
I don't know. Look, he's a great lad. I mean, I'm going to say that anyway, but he is. He's a great lad. I'm sure. I think I'm right in saying, because I've heard one or two whispers that your lot liked him. And look, when anybody comes back to Portman Road, you know, like over the years, like dear old, we'll talk about it more later, obviously. But like Marcus or whatever, you know, or any player came back, who went, especially not that lot down the road, but you know, anybody came back like who we like, we always gave them a good reception, and I'm just hoping Brody will get a good reception tomorrow, because I like I said to Bradley earlier on, believe you me, Tony Mowbray will get one hell of a reception from our lot, 100%, because he was a good lad,
you
you
actually
know.
liked him, didn't you?
Yeah, loved him, absolutely loved the bloke, you know. Mind you, scoring a header in a playoff final, that didn't do him no harm either. He was a good leader, good player, and a good man, Tony Mowbray.
Yeah, obviously we're going to move on now. So second item on the agenda for us Sunderland fans is apparently in the last couple of hours, Daniel Ballard has signed a new contract at the club until 2027. So what's your thoughts on that, everybody, including Paul and Amph? So first, we're going to go with Amph this time. Amph, what are you thinking? What's your thoughts on this signing of a contract extension?
I really rate it. It shows his loyalty to the club. I don't know the commercials behind it. I don't think many people will until it's over and done with. But he's obviously seen what we're like. We've given him a good reception. We rate his style of football. He's one of the three main centre backs that we would go in with week in, week out. So, yeah, I rate him. He's a solid unit to come up against. He adds that extra bit of height that we've been missing. It's just making sure he stays off that injury list as long as possible, because he is a rock at the back for us.
He is, exactly. Yeah, he is. Totally agree. Paul Wilson, what's your thoughts on this Daniel Ballard signing? Are you happy?
I'm actually over the moon. He's actually committed his future actually with us. You know, it just shows what route we're taking. You know, because I'm sure he had plenty of offers. You know, to go elsewhere, West Ham, for example, wanted him. So I'm pleased he's actually staying at the club.
Yeah. Well, I told you I think on the group chat on Monday, I think, or Tuesday, I told you that Daniel Ballard would sign a contract according to obviously.
Yeah, you did.
I was right. So there you go.
Well done, Brad.
I do have a question on the back of that, by the way. What happens? Obviously, he's a signed player for Sunderland. What happens if we get promoted? Is there a big bonus attached to that? Are we looking at selling him on to another championship team? Because I think he is in the top, maybe the top 7 or 8 championship defenders of last season.
Definitely. So
do we bring him up with the Premier League with us if we do go up at any point? It could be 5 years off and it is last season, but what's the rewards for keeping him on board?
Well, I think obviously if we do go up this season, because obviously Christian Speakman wants top 2, but I'll be happy with playoffs still. I'll actually be happy with playoffs, to be honest. Because obviously what I'll be happy with is obviously stabilising in this league for at least another season or two, getting the right players in and stuff, and obviously getting up with the right players, and obviously spending the money in the Premier League, because eventually what we'll have. I don't know if you can agree with me on that one, Paul.
Yeah, I'd be happy to stay in this league for another season. But on that note, Brad, Tony Mowbray's contract is actually out at the end of the season.
It is, yeah, it is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I said this, but I'm going to elaborate a little bit earlier on one of my videos. There's different brackets of where we would finish where I'd feel completely different about it. Anything in the bottom half, I'm going to be absolutely livid. 12th through to 9th, I think will be an okay season. It's a step down, but it's still consistency in this league. Fighting on the playoffs or in the bottom half of the playoff pack, so anywhere from 5th through to 8th. I think it's been a good, solid season, and it's that winning games when we should, picking up points against teams that are difficult to. That'll be great, but anything above that, I'll be ecstatic and buzzing, especially top 2. We're back in the Prem there, mate. Wasn't by it, but yeah, it's just like basically shit, okay, decent, quality. And that's it. And it
Oh,
all depends on where we finish. It's the same as what Stoke had 4 games last season where they were like just dominating, but they finished 16th. I'd say that's a shit season, even though you've got 4 really good moments and memories from it. 10 years down the line, are you going to be talking about your playoff games? Or are you going to talk about 4 games where you had 5 goals? You're going to be talking about almost getting into the Premier League more than we beat, I don't know, like Bolton Wanderers when we went up. They beat us 6-0 that season. Who cares?
Exactly.
Don't remind me of that.
Well, other than Lee Johnson losing his job, it worked out for the better for us. So, like, having big flary results in finishing the bottom half might be okay for the likes of Rotherham or QPR this season. But for us, I'd much rather us be in the top half and fighting for that playoffs or higher. That's what I want.
Yeah.
What's the sentiment for Ipswich then, Colin? Where's an okay season? Where's your brackets at?
Well, there's a lot of people, and like obviously different levels. The majority of people, I suppose, the sensible kind of people, are talking like between 8th and 12th. Like I said, because we've got a good nucleus of championship players and good championship players in the side, right from all that go. I mean, myself, look, it was before I heard the thing about Walton, I've got to say, and also on the back of the couple of 3 signings we're supposed to be getting in, and hopefully they'll be good signings. We're talking about some young lad defender from Man United, 1 or 2 other players. So I don't know who they are at the moment. So, it's difficult. But I've got us in the playoffs. I mean, I might be going a little bit to maybe a bit OTT there. But I suppose, like the sensible brigade, anything from, say, 7th downwards, down to about 12th, probably maybe be right. But I mean, at the end of the day, we were 17 years in the championship, and to be honest, people, I suppose, including myself, was even starting to get bored of being in the championship. But my God, when you've had, as you boys know, when you've been up and down to fucking Accrington, Stanley, and Morecambe, I'm more than happy to be back in the championship, where, like I say, 4.5 years ago we was bored as shit being in it. So be careful what you wish for. That's what I say.
The majority of the teams in this league have the word city after them. In the League One and below, it's town. It's all the towns. Just bring in the big boy league. You're a big boy club. You should be in the championship, I think. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we averaged about 27,500 last year in Division 1, and like when you consider we was having like I said, the likes of Accrington and Fleetwood bringing, and you could literally count them in the away end. I mean, I can't remember. I think it might have been Aki. I sat in the Ramsey going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, got to about 52, and I actually counted them. It's ridiculous. We sold out every away. Which I know Sunderland do. Brilliant away sport. We sold out every away end in the Division 1 last year. Every one. And even Fleetwood gave us a side as well, which they did on 1 or 2 occasions, But, our away support has been absolutely brilliant over the last few years. Well, that's always been good. Our away support's always been good. And like I say, we sold out tomorrow. I mean, I think if you'd have gave us probably 3,000-4,000, we'd have sold them. I know we would. But it is what it is. You give us 2,000, fair play, By the way, how many tickets you sold now? Is it about 42,000?
Season tickets, I think it's 36, but
No,
for the game itself, yeah, it's
For the
like
game.
42 and a
I
half.
mean total for tomorrow.
Yeah, 42 and
That's
a
not
half.
exactly
About
For-
42,500, yeah, to about 42,500 we've sorted out.
free. That's what you call a proper football club.
Well, it's saying that's going to be on Sky.
Well, I
Yeah.
5 o'clock kickoff.
I want on Sunday, I want the Roker and selling that's what I want.
You're not the only one, Brad. Especially when I'm sad.
So yeah, we're going to move on now, guys, again. So the third part on the agenda, apparently we're close to signing new strikers. 2 new strikers, apparently. 2 new attacking players. I don't know if the strikers or something. I don't know, obviously, if we're attacking midfielders. I don't know. We just mentioned 2 attackers. So depending on that note, I don't know who it's going to be. But apparently they're from overseas. So would you think, because obviously we were linked with obviously Sydney Van Hooydonk or someone like that. I can't remember his name.
Van
I can't
Hooijdonk.
pronounce his name, but
I don't.
we were linked with
Hooijdonk.
him and obviously Southampton's Hooydonk.
Hooijdonk.
Yeah. So one of the players we're linked with him, and I think he's actually one of them who I think we're actually going to try and be signing. So Paul, are you happy about obviously the strike force what we'll be having at the start of the season? Obviously, are you happy about that? Because obviously we've got Semedo.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, obviously we've got Semedo in. Obviously,
Mowbray said, Law, that these 2 are bringing in, they're supposed to be international players.
Interesting. So obviously we got Himar Semedo. He's come in. Obviously we've got Miranda, but obviously he's injured. We've got Ross Stewart, who's out injured. Obviously
Semedo's the only fit striker.
Obviously Lewis and Bennett can play up front. Obviously Alex Pritchard can play up front because he used to play up front as a false 9 last season. But
Yeah,
what we
I was
want-
going to say so could the Hadji, but the Hadji's going to the Middle East.
yeah, the Middle East apparently. But instead of playing this false 9 system, I think it'd be better if we actually get proper strikers in and actually obviously play up front with proper strikers. What do you think, anyway, about these 2 new signings coming? Apparently, I don't know where they're going.
I don't get too excited by people on the rumour mill. I only get excited once I've seen them come in. With the exception of Joe Bellingham, obviously his brother's got the talent. I think it's in their genetics, really. They're just quality footballers. But the likes of Bradley Dark Triantis, it was now they've signed, I'll learn about them. So I don't like to overly research players that are on that rumour mill until they're in the club. I'm not going to put all my bets on them scoring us like 7-8 goals and doing what they should do on paper, because it's scorned us in the past. Just look at how excited we all were when Jermaine Defoe came back. He played 8 games. Like it's not the man that you've seen before. The stats that have happened before are well in the past. The reason he's come to Sunderland, or the reason these new players are coming to Sunderland, is because we want them in that position and we can see them doing the job. That's what we got to respect in Speakman. We can't just happy clap and say it's okay, bring in who you want when you want. We want that talent. We want those good players. So the names behind it doesn't matter to me. It's when they're in, them doing the job. That's the more important thing for me. So Van Hooijdonk, he looks like a good potential. He's not like it's comparing him to our current squad. He's probably more like a Dan Neil than anybody else. So if he comes in, are we getting rid of Dan Neil as a holding, attacking, sweeping midfield, like bang in the middle of the park, like what we're trying to do? Yeah. If we want 2 out-and-out strikers, we need a tall man, which we've got in Himar Semedo, and somebody like Kevin Phillips, like the Quinn Phillips partnership, that back old-fashioned 4-4-2 is it. If that's what's successful, that's what we need to go for. But the false 9 stuff as well, like we do what works with what we've got essentially, and that's what That's what we need to do. Just trust in that.
So
It doesn't
about it, though.
Yeah,
Mowbray said that these two that's coming in, they're not actually youngsters.
I was just
These
about
are
to say
actually,
that.
these
Paul.
are actually experienced.
How experienced?
I don't know. He just said experienced.
Yes, because it says on here Mowbray on close SCFC rivals. The names you have to take from Forward World Football to know, but they're not going to be kids. They'll be talented footballers on the cusp of international teams playing in a league that we think we can go to and take their best players. That's what it says according to this. And more from Mowbray, it also says it's not about getting household names because they already have the repetition and they can earn beyond what we pay. The idea is to get these players and turn them into household names over a year or two. I actually like that from Mowbray, to be honest, what he said there. Actually. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't mind that. Like I said, when the deal's signed, that's when we can get excited. But you can be in talks with somebody for ages. Just look at Ross Stewart.
Exactly.
Nothing happened. Like this person could be just about to sign the dotted line, and then the agent goes, "We want this clause added. We want that added." So
Yeah.
until they've got the scar photo, yeah,
Now we can celebrate.
yeah, that we can celebrate and start our expectations on that player.
Yeah.
Until that's done,
Mhm.
just enjoy the potential that we could get. If you look at who's available in the open market now, there's loads of good players that you can think of that are on free agency, but
Mhm.
they've got to do what they did with Dak and put in the request.
See what I liked about it as well. I think Mowbray wanted these two for Sunday,
You did.
but Mowbray said they won't be here for Sunday.
Yeah. Well, I've been speaking to Colin about this. Well, I've been speaking to Colin and Colin about this as well. Apparently, fans on match days as well. You can actually say you got added time on scoreboards now. Apparently, at the end of games. Apparently,
Yeah, I actually heard about it.
which I think is quite good, to be honest, because at least we know how many added minutes we've got left of the game, and obviously we can
I'm
actually.
pleased finally that's come in.
I am as well, to be fair. It took us a while, but obviously, yeah, it's happy. Just gotta say one thing as well. If you watch him, but I don't think you will be watching Gary Bennett. Obviously, he's had surgery done to his prostate. He got it checked, and it may save your life getting your prostate checked out. And obviously,
Yeah, he's got prostate cancer.
And we're wishing you a speedy recovery. So apparently from the Sunderland Football Club, we want everyone at the whole stadium to chant "One Gary Bennett" in the 4th minute on Sunday. That's what they want. So everyone who's going to the game, please do that. Please give this lad a lot of respect. Because
Are we going to do predictions for the game now?
well, we've got one more thing to talk about, and we're going to go into the preview. So
Okay, good.
there you go. So next we'll have on the agenda before we go into the match preview, where Colin can see his part as well on Ipswich Town, and we have obviously got Jack Clark to talk about next. And what I've heard about Jack Clark the last couple of days, apparently he's not leaving Sunderland Football Club, according to obviously exclusive as well, and I actually believe exclusive what they say, because obviously a lot of things I believe from them. Apparently Burnley put in a bid for 10 million, I think, and obviously it got rejected from us again. So obviously, apparently, Tony Mowbray has came out as well. Apparently, he says he's not for sale this summer, Jack Clark, which I'm very happy that we're keeping hold of him, to be honest. Do you agree? Do you think Jack Clark's a good player? I think there'll be a lot of agreements here. Paul Wilson?
Yeah, I actually like Jack Clark, and what I like about it as well, and I told you, Brad, when Bradley Dack actually was at the academy, the one I actually reported it actually said our last bid for Jack Clark actually was in July, so we haven't actually had any since then for him.
No. What are you thinking about Jack Clark? You think he's a decent player?
Mate, he's one of our best. It's as simple as that. And If I was
Exactly.
Ipswich, I would double man mark him. He can break down the wing so easy. He can make defenders and wingers look absolutely stupid with one touch. So that's exactly what you want. The one thing I do think he needs to improve on in his game is him holding on to the ball too long before making the pass. Beyond that, he's pretty much the perfect player. He just tries to do everything himself. Him and Roberts have the exact same problem down either wing. If they can learn to pass a little bit more, they'll get a lot more assists. But
Yeah.
he had double figures on goals and assists last season for a reason, mate. He's a quality player.
Well, I'm actually happy as well because obviously Patrick Roberts and Jack Clark were actually Sunderland players in League One of the first season when we were in League One on loan. They were on loan at Sunderland, and I'm actually happy. I don't know if it was Christian Speakman or Louis Dreyfus, obviously. I don't know if he spoke to somebody and obviously tried to get them on permanent, but well done for her done that because obviously we've got two great players in our club now on either side of the wing who can actually perform a really, really good match.
Yeah, because if you think the first time we got Clark, he was actually on loan.
Mm-hmm.
Then the club decided to make it permanent.
I think with Clark though, he's pretty much irreplaceable from anybody on our bench. We have to play a completely different style with him not in the squad. That's how crucial his role is.
Acacia says, I'm glad that Jack Clark's in as well. And she says, but if Burnley do one more bid, they can get lost because we're not having them. Ashley Fletcher's come on.
Not for Ashley Fletcher.
No. Southampton, no. They've just took the lead again. 2-1.
She Adams scored.
G. Adams.
So,
anyways.
next we'll be talking about obviously Sunderland versus Ipswich preview. We'll be talking about the preview into this one now. And obviously, Colin will have a lot to say on this, to be honest. Obviously, the danger man to obviously look out for Ipswich is Nathan Broadhead, ex-Sunderland player, hoping to get a start on Sunday against Ipswich, hopefully, fingers crossed. Another danger man is obviously Connor Chaplin. He's a danger man as well. And I don't know who else is danger for you. Who else is danger for you, Colin?
Well, you've obviously got George Hurst as well, who we've now signed permanently. A lot of people have said, when he was at Blackburn and before in the Championship, he's never really, convinced many people. But he's only a young lad. I was reading an article in our local paper about him today. Since he's been with Kieran, Kieran's just like, as he's done with loads of players, he's a great coach, manager, and he said he's brought him on no end since he's been on loan from Leicester, but now, like I say, he's permanent. But there was a couple of games, away at Bolton where he scored a great goal, at Bolton, and he did the same at Barnsley. He's strong. He holds players off. You've got to remember at Barnsley he had that Anderson who marking him, who's just now gone to Premier League. And excuse me, and quite honestly, Anderson didn't know what to do with him on the night. and he's a strong lad, that Anderson. So you've got him up top. He plays up top basically on his own, and you've got Chaplin and Brody off him, like to his wings, if you like as pivots, and the three of them. Honestly, at the end of last season, were destroying teams. Obviously, lesser teams. Excuse me, lesser teams, but just destroying them, and Charlton 6-0, Exeter 6-0, 3-0 at Barnes. This is right at the back end of the season. So Hursty, I would say, you've got to be careful with. And Chaplin, the lad, he's got such a short back lift, but my God, when he hits it, stays it. He's a good lad. works with the club, works with the foundation, and he's just a genuine. Like I said to you earlier about most of the lads, Wes, well, all of them, Edmondson, they all work behind the scenes with the fans, with the disabled people, and stuff like that. And they're just a great bunch of lads. But Chaplin, I'd say you want to be careful. Going on to what you were saying about Clark, I must admit, your two wide players, Clark, and I was going to say Clark and
Roberts.
And Roberts, they do worry me, but of course we've got Burns and I'll probably be Ball maybe, or Danash on that side, right hand side, and then you've got Leif Davis, who's been an absolute sensation for us. He's been why Leeds got rid of him, I do not know. He's been brilliant on that left. You'll see tomorrow. Brilliant on the left-hand side. So those two battles, because Leaf likes getting forward as well. Those two battles with Clark and Robertson, like Leaf and Wes gets forward. Be very interesting game tomorrow. I mean, I said 1-1. I wouldn't be surprised just 2-2. Wouldn't be surprised at all. There'll be goals tomorrow. Keep saying tomorrow. Sunday. There'll be, there'll be goals. There's no doubt about it. I mean, we play an open attacking game. We won't change. I'm telling you, we won't change, lads. And you'll attack us. We'll attack you. It'll be a game of basketball, I think. We never ever park the bus under Kieran. Never, ever. Be interesting. But,
that style of football will help us out a lot more than you think, because defensively we've got errors. We will concede goals normally under current regime, and anyways. But if we got the ability to attack our teams and they're not like putting 10 men behind the ball all the time, we will score a lot more than we concede. So it's about burying the chances. That will make the difference between our two teams coming up this weekend. So I think it's just a case of the better striker wins.
I'll tell you what, Ant. Obviously I watched Sunderland last year on Sky in the Championship and whatever. And I know how you play, and you're attack minded and everything. And to be honest with you, I think I'm revising 1-1. I think I'm definitely going 2-2. Look, that game really, when I really, really, really think about it, it could be anything. That it really could, because there's some very good players on that pitch, on both sides. Very good players indeed.
Yeah, so, just look at our Hull game last season. Like, it was a third last game. Finishes 4-4. That kind of proves what's capable in the Sunderland game. You never see 4-4, but with us it's possible.
But it'll be whatever it's going to be, boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, apparently in the Sheffield Wednesday versus Southampton game, there's been 15 minutes added time in both halves. So it's been obviously 9 minutes added on in the second half and 6 minutes added on in the first half without a serious injury. So good sign of things to come this season in terms of dealing with time wasting. Apparently, someone's tweeted. Henry Johnson.
How's Freddie Ladapo been for you, Colin?
He's been okay. I mean, obviously, see, this is another thing that normally happens. George normally always starts, and he run in Division 1 anyway. He runs the defender ragged. He's strong. He never gives you a second. He works hard. He closes down from that number 9. He works his absolute socks off, And normally what happens is, I mean, obviously, I suppose if you've got a goal or two, maybe it might be a bit different. But normally if he's just got, say, the odd goal, and he works, like you say, he works that line like nothing on earth. And normally Kieran brings Freddie on about 60, 65.
Yeah.
And then Freddie does exactly the same thing. But he scored some great goals last season as well. I mean, I remember one at Peterborough, and he did. I mean, I think he got 16, 17 goals, and I mean, never started that many games, you know. But yeah, he's got a finish on him, and because a lot of people thought, you know, when he first came, and they said, you know, oh, he's a bit lazy and this, that, and the other. But he certainly hasn't been like that under Kieran. He's been just like George, you know. He works that line and he works very hard for that last, say, 25, you know.
It's a people's game, mate. So if your manager doesn't motivate you, you're going to become what's seen as being lazy for that man. If you get the best out of you, you're putting your heart in on your sleeve every single game. So it's all about that man management, and I think Mowbray has that with our current squad, without doubt. I think he's just got the trust of the players, and the players he trusts the players, and the players trust him. If you've got that with your squad as well, like, it doesn't matter how bad you are, if the manager trusts you, like, you're going to do the best thing in most situations, you're going to start doing the right thing. You're going to get a little bit of luck. If you're going for like 5-6 dribbles, you're going to pull off more than you lose in most of those situations. So confidence is a big thing in this game, and motivating your men right massively helps. And I mean, scoring over 100 goals, kind of case in point, isn't it?
I mean, our squad have been put through it this pre-season. You know, that's another thing Kieran does. You know, they say his training sessions. They reckon that's why a lot of players sign for him. His training sessions are never the same. He's only 37. He was 36 when he joined us, just like Bobby was. Bobby was 36 when he joined us. And they say all his training sessions are marvellous. They're never the same. Day after day, they're never the same. The players love all that, and he puts in like 2 sessions a day over pre-season, because we just had a brand new £2.5 million pitch put down, and underground heating and stuff. Our owners have been really good. So we haven't been able to play at home. So they went out to Austria twice. They went to Preston. I mean, I was on holiday at the time, but I obviously heard a couple of lads who watched the game on iFollow and that, and they said they just all over Preston, and then they played. Then we played Luton at Colchester's ground, because we obviously hadn't got our pitch, which is just down the road from us. And again, it was 1-1, but they equalised, I think, 5 minutes from time. It was all over them, Luton. So, you know, and also in Austria, we played what they called the Innsbruck Cup, and we played Werder Bremen and I can't think the other side's name. Oh, Leipzig. And Leipzig finished third in the Bundesliga last year, only about 5 points behind Bayern, and we beat them 1-0. So he's give them some tough tests, you know. And they've been really working hard. So yeah, that's been good. Just a pity we lost Walton. There you are. That's football.
Yeah. One last thing before you go, Colin, because can we have a score prediction off you for Sunday?
Well, I've been saying 1-1. I'll tell you what, I'm going to change. I am going to change my mind after we chatted tonight. I'm going to go 2-2. 2-2.
Oh, 2-2. Oh, on it.
2-2. We'll have a Desmond.
Mowbray will love that.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on tonight. I do appreciate it, Colin, and enjoy the time in the championship, and good luck to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bradley. But boys, can I just say one last thing? Something we didn't brush over. Obviously, Marcus is coming up tomorrow.
Oh,
Sorry,
yes,
Sunday. I've got to get used to this Sky stuff again, haven't I?
Oh, yeah.
Marcus is coming up. He was an absolute ledge at our place. He came down and he modelled our new shirt, and all the new shirts that they sold, £2 from each shirt went to the Derby Rimmer. And you know, when I heard the news, that broke my heart. I mean, he's a good He was a great footballer, a great man, a good person, and that horrible that always seems to happen to people like him. But I know you loved him as well. Loved at both clubs, and let's just hope that we raise as much money on Sunday as we possibly can for a great charity, and for a great person.
Yeah,
100%.
100%, Colin.
What I'd recommend after this then is if you've got the links for the donations, pop them in the comments section after this video goes live, and then if anybody does catch up on it, they've got that donation link to go through. If there's
I think you should put it in the comments, to be honest, because there is quite a few.
Our club's actually got a text donation number that you can put in the comments, Brad.
Yeah.
It's
Someone
actually on the club website.
Someone called
That's
Airsoft Mr. Dorf.
Hey, Dov.
Hello, Dorf. All right. By the way, if anyone doesn't know who Dorf is, he's part of Amp Struggle. So, yeah. Thank you very much indeed, Colin, for coming on tonight. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, good luck in the championship for the rest of the season, pal.
Are you going to the game on Sunday, Colin?
Yes,
Yeah, lovely. Thank you. Good luck to you, boys, and even more good luck to you when you play that lot, Denny A140. They begin with N and N, begins with N and ends with H, but we don't normally mention them.
appreciate it, mate.
See you
Take
later,
care,
lads.
Colin.
Take care.
Take care,
Take
Colin.
care, Colin.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Ta-ra. So that was Colin, everyone, from Talking Town podcast. Very nice bloke to start the season off. So
I can't get over his history, mate.
I can't either. So we actually have a lot of things. Well, we haven't got a lot of things to talk about, but we've got the crew game to talk about on Tuesday night as well, and we've got some good news for you, because what you've got to do is, guys, is obviously I've got a Coventry versus Sunderland preview coming up at the end of this month on the 26th of, I think it's the 26th of this month when we'll play them away. Yes, it's the 26th of August when we'll play them away. What you got to do, guys, is obviously on the Thursday when I do the preview, is obviously what you got to do is in the comment section is comment your score predictions for that game, and your obviously score predictions go into a hat, and you will win 2 tickets for the game against Sunderland versus Southampton on the 2nd of September. So that is your prize if you win. So
Speaking of predictions and getting them right, of the content creators, the game tonight against Sheffield Wednesday and Southampton, there was only one person who predicted a 2-1 win for Southampton, and that was, I'm going to point in the right direction, this guy here.
Wow.
He got a bang on result in the first game of the championship. It can only get better, right? So
He's been searching up, that's why.
I got the lottery numbers, mate.
So, oh gosh, what a stream. So, preview for Crew Alexandra, known as the Railwaymen. We will bring them on Tuesday the 8th, a very, very short break after the Ipswich game. So, it's only giving us 2 days break until obviously the next game comes on.
7:45.
Which is at 7:45, I believe. And our referee for that game is obviously Scott Oldham. Our last time we had him was against Luton Town when we equalised 1-1, and that was in March the 18th, if I remember right.
It was at the Stadium of Light.
I think Ahmad scored. I remember that rightly very well. Ahmad scored.
Yeah, he scored a penalty.
Yeah, he scored a penalty against them.
Late penalty.
Blatant penalty as well, mind. What I've seen of that. So, I forgot. I haven't done the Ipswich game for you, Stu, either, for the score predictions. Talk about score predictions. So, take this a step back then. We want to go score predictions for the Ipswich games first. So, Paul Wilson, what's your score prediction, pal? What you putting in?
3-1 Sunderland.
3-1 Sunderland. Amph, what are you thinking?
I'm sticking to my 3-0, and I'm so glad that Colin's gone because I think he'd be upset with that. I don't want to put any disrespect on any club coming up, but the pace and the strength of the game is a little bit higher, and I think we're already there. We're at the top and trying to compete for the top, whereas they're coming back into the league off a really good momentum. I don't think they'll carry it over because stuff hits the fan all the time. So I hope we beat them quite comfortably, but no Sunderland. We can screw it up at any point during the game.
I've got a feeling Brad's just wrote that down.
What? Tell Colin I've said 3-0 and we're going to smash it.
He's writing down the score predictions.
May I've got an Excel spreadsheet with everybody's score predictions on.
So, my score prediction is Sunderland 3, Ipswich 1. That is
Same
my
as me.
score prediction. Paul, and I actually predicted 3-1
Yeah, you
on
did.
Amph's thing this morning. Well, he's done, so I predicted that as well. Imagine if I got 2 out of 2 right. Imagine that'll be funny as anything. So, going into the Crew game on Tuesday, well, I haven't done mine yet, never mind really Crew game. I do too many fuck ups, I tell you. So, I'm going to go Sunderland 3. Oh, I said 3-1 Sunderland, didn't I?
Yeah.
So,
Mate, are you okay? Do you need coffee?
I think I need to wake myself up a bit after this stream. So,
Well, there's a score prediction straight away.
Craig Jeff says 2-1 to Sunderland against Ipswich. Yeah, well done, mate. Thank you for predicting us to win for once, because you always say a draw or us to lose. So, well done. Give you some credit. So, Crew Alexandra game on Tuesday night, 7:45 kickoff, known as the Railway Men. Obviously, there's no fallback.
No, why are they called the Railway Men?
I don't know. That's
It's
a
their
good question.
nickname, month.
It's a nickname. I'm
Oh.
saying
3-2.
3-2 Sunderland for Sunday. That's interesting. So, Paul Wilson, what's your prediction for Crew on Tuesday night? Well, you're going with Callum, aren't you?
Yes, I am actually. Well, with the team Mobile put out, it'll be the team against Hartlepool, won't it?
Yeah, it'd be quite youngsters. Quite a lot of youngsters who'll be featuring that night.
And I'm actually going to this game. I don't want to see what happened at Hartlepool.
No, you wouldn't.
We'll have a different goalkeeper in goal.
Nathan Bishop, we'll have him in goal.
So,
Remember, we do have Bradley Dack as well. Remember, we do have him
yeah, we'll have Bradley Dack will probably be up front.
up top.
Against
Yeah,
Crewe.
we'll have Bradley Dack up top Tuesday night. So,
Is it at Crewe or at the Stadium of Light?
Stadium
It's actually a
Light.
state of fight.
How many fans are going? 17.
No idea.
17. I hope it's not 17.
Well, they're only opening up the East Stand, I think. Aren't they, Paul? I think only opening up the East Stand for this one. I think.
Yeah, they've
No.
just opened certain. They've only opened certain blocks in the East Stand.
Yeah.
Mate,
So,
get 2 dice and roll them. One's Sunderland, one's Crewe. There's your result.
I'm going to go 2-0 Sunderland.
2-0 Sunderland. Okay. Amph, what's your score prediction for Crewe?
Oh, I think we're putting out our second string squad because we really don't care about the AFL Cup unless we're in round 6 or beyond.
Yeah.
So if we lose this stage, it frees up a lot of time training this season. So second string strong squad will go out. If we win, fantastic. But if not, it's no pressure on the team. So
Mm-mm.
I'm going to say 2-1 to Sunderland, but it could quite easily be the other way around because of who we put out on the day. We could put the kids out. We could put Bishop in goal just to see what he's like, see if he's fully fit. That kind of let's get our new boys on there and see how they fall into our current main championship squad.
Yeah, well, I think we'll see a lot of obviously Triantis playing on Tuesday night as well. I think I'll see the start of him playing Tuesday. I wouldn't think he'll start Sunday. I wouldn't think
No,
so
he's
anyway.
not.
Isn't it only like 36 hours or something like that between the two games?
Yes, it's all it is, 36 hours.
Yeah, so the team that will be on the bench on Sunday will play against Crew.
Yeah, and obviously, like to the team who were playing on, obviously the team who's starting on Sunday, some will be on the bench and some will be rested. Because obviously they'll be rested for Saturday's game.
Bit like all the subs we actually had against Hull. Against Hartlepool.
I got it down to reading through that list in 20
did.
seconds. It was yeah. It's
You
too
don't wanna
much.
know-
That's a bit bench. That's too big.
You don't want to know what my score prediction is for Tuesday night. You don't want
Just
to know.
say it. Just say it.
Right. I'm going to go for Sunderland 4, Ipswich 0. That's what I'm going to say.
Ipswich?
I mean, Crew.
Are we playing Ipswich twice?
Guys, I think after this stream, I need to go for another one of these. To be honest.
What, a class father?
Somebody clip that what he said.
Oh, bloody hell. 1-1 says Acacia. I thought it was against Crew on Tuesday. Low says Craig Jeff.
You know somebody's going to clip that now.
Someone's going to go to video book. So, guys, I think we're done for tonight. I think I'm going to go on a holiday for a couple of days away from the channel. I think I need to, even though I've just come back to the channel, I need to take a break from the channel and come back to think what I need to say next. So, it's goodbye from me. It's a goodbye from Paul Wilson.
See you later. Come on Sunday.
And it's a goodbye from, obviously, Anthony Mackham, known as Donald Duck.
I'm not doing that. Not on the live stream. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Hello. Hello again.
Hello. I'm doing this. I need to go.
See you on Sunday, Acacia.
See you Sunday, Acacia. What were you saying there, Ramph? For what's that?
I said,
He was saying bye.
I said
Oh.
bye-bye. Then hello. Then hello. End it.
Bye, everybody.
He's
Bye,
drunk.
everybody.
He is